next on All Access.
I'm Dan Roach. The Patriot players are eager to get back on the winning track.
I'm Scott Zolak, and we look into the development of Drake Maye after his second NFL start.
I'm Paul Perillo, and we'll discuss how the Patriots will respond to their coach's challenge.
All that, plus meet the mayor of fun.
But I love it because I see everyone having a great time.
We could all use some fun. All Access begins right now. The results were no better internationally as the Patriots dropped their sixth straight. Hello and welcome to Patriots All Access presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. A fast start was followed by 3 lousy quarters of football as New England was pushed around by Jacksonville. The New York Football Jets, themselves losers of 4 straight, come to Foxborough on Sunday. It's less about the opponent this week as the Patriots have to get their team right.
What I would say is, look, we're a soft football team across the board. We talk about what makes a tough football team. That's being able to run the ball, that's being able to stop the run, and that's being able to cover kicks, and we did none of those today.
Welcome to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios, everyone, with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo, and we all heard what Gerard said. Were you surprised at his comments?
I was a little surprised, only because more so than anything else, I've just been used to 25 years of nothing like that. Sure. Coming from the head coach, so it was a little jarring to hear it.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, the whole culture change this year, it ties to that. Getting used to, Gerard speaking his mind and telling reporters exactly what he feels. And I think when I think about describing a football team, one of the harshest things, in my view, you can say about a team is that they're soft. So that's part of what surprised me so much.
Before I ask you how the team took it, do you think it was the right thing for Gerard to do?
So, I mean, I could definitely see both sides of this one. It's not necessarily what I would do as the head coach, but I didn't have a huge problem with it for some of the reasons that Mike is talking about. And I do agree with the way you put that, Mike. And I think back to some of those teams, some of those great Indianapolis Colts teams, in like 03, 04, 05. They were great teams. They were considered soft, and they couldn't quite get over the hump. And I think that was probably a real motivating factor for them moving forward when they finally did beat the Patriots in 06, to sort of get to where they wanted to go. It's not what I would have done, but I don't have a huge problem that Gerard did it. I think he's trying to light a fire and put a stop to this.
I think the hard part for me, guys, is look at what it's created externally. A lot of noise around the team. It's created a headline, and to Paul's point, you want it to motivate the players, but I'm not sure creating, in my view, the noise does that.
And so I wouldn't have chosen to do it that way.
Yes,
It's exactly what Mike said.
Yeah.
So how do you think the team took the noise?
I think, listening to the players a little bit during the course of the week, I think they took it as a motivator. Like, he's not calling me soft, is he? I mean, was he talking to you? Not me. I think that they're going to band together and play a little bit tougher. But, Steve, you don't know really how they're going to take it until you see it on the field and see
But he did say
it all
across the
transpire.
board.
He said across the board. And then we should probably mention the next morning he said, we played soft, so which qualifies the initial comment. I talked to some players in the locker room this week, and I think what stood out to me was that they don't feel like they're soft, but they felt like they're playing out of the scheme. Meaning, like, if guys got to do their job, you got players that aren't in their assigned gaps. Like that, we got to clean that up. It's not necessarily about being more physical or, punching someone in the mouth, for lack of a better term. It's being more assignment sound. The idea that when they watched the film, Paul, they said, that's not us.
Discipline.
And that's not us. Yeah. And so I think they agree with them to a degree, but maybe the word choice a little bit not so much.
If someone calls me soft, that motivates me, okay? I'm going to go at you 110% even harder. Will that motivate them?
Yeah, well, I think some of the players, when you listen to them, I think Keon White had some good things to say about it. Just sort of, like, yeah, he told us the same thing, and he told you guys, yeah, we need to play better, we need to play tougher, and I do think Mike's point is probably the bigger problem, is they're not always where they're supposed to be and executing the way they're supposed to be. But yeah, I think it should be a motivating factor,
And
Steve.
Paul, I like that you brought up that Gerard had said it to the players. It wasn't like he came out and said what he said to the media without telling the players
themselves
that first.
All right, guys, don't go far because we got a lot more to talk about at the end of the show. We'll be back more Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Can the Patriots players rally after last week's disappointment?
Everybody's locked in, ready to go.
Plus, we break down start number 2 for Drake Maye.
Of all the throws that he makes, these are probably the most effortless and look the prettiest.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit sitickets.com today. And by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Make some plays. Let's have some fun, man. We get to play a game in freaking London, England, man. Let's go get a dub. It's going to be on us. Let's just keep making plays. Adversity might net. Let's just keep making plays all day. Let's go. Playmakers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Playmakers.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for supporting us.
Hey, so good to see you. We'll see you after the game.
Yeah!
Make it happen.
We gotta wake them up. Let's do it.
Make it happen.
Shotgun snap to Maye. Looking right. He tosses it to a wide open Hasty. Right sideline in. A cut left at the 5. Jermichael, the former Jaguar. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots! The snap and a little swing, a flip to the left side. It's caught on the run and tackled Dearness Johnson. Brought down by Jonathan Jones and company. Way to work, D!
Good tackle, good strong tackle there. I see that here. Be alert that they're still going to run the script like they're in their script. First 15.
On the cutback, just make sure we don't over pursue it. He cuts back behind you. On the stretch and pull.
Drops back, he steps in, he fires down the middle, the pass is going to be caught! Touchdown, Patriots! Great drive! Has to get set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Maye takes the snap, throws it to the right, receiver fell down.
Got him. Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down. Talked with head coach Gerard Maye. Gerard, we sat here last week before we went to London, and you talked to me about starting fast. And I know you guys worked on it in practice. You guys started fast. What happened after that?
We got to put it all together. We got to start fast, and we have to finish. And it's not only about starting fast within a drive, it's also about finishing those drives with points. And we just weren't able to do that this week.
Did you guys get bullied, pushed around?
Maybe, yeah. For that game, I would say I think it was pretty clear. And when we talk about tough football teams, we talk about being able to cover kicks and be able to run the ball and stop the run. Do I think we have tough players in the locker room? Absolutely, but we just played
soft for that game, and I would say probably the last 2 games.
I think it's one thing for a coach that maybe have never played to call teams soft. Like, you played middle linebacker. You in that moment, and I agreed with you when you said it. I was sitting, 20 feet in front of you.
Yep.
And then people talk about it the next day, and you sort of had to take it back a little. Not take it back, but you can change week to week, though.
No,
you
that's
can come out and play not physical and physical
right.
1 week.
That's right. And all the things that we're talking about now will be, forgotten if we just win football games. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to winning football games. And I would say that, and also, trying to build this roster to be sustainable in the future.
Okay, Drake Maye, week 2. What improvements did you see? It seems like he protected the ball well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no turnovers, and that's the thing. When we talk about having a young quarterback, you want to see him get better every week, and I would say he did that this past week. I would also say that the pass protection this week was better than it has been in a long time. Even though, in spite of having different combinations up front on a week-to-week basis.
I know, 7 in a row. Like, I can't wait for a pregame interview. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, keep your fingers crossed.
Give us the same old line 2 weeks in a row.
I thought that calling game, like, he had a chance to go to first progression, second, third. If it wasn't there, then take off.
That's right, and he did a good job there. He has that athleticism that he's able to extend plays and also pick up first downs with his legs.
Play the Jets at home this week. Getting into the Jets. I mean, we could talk about Rodgers, could talk about Devontae Adams getting there. Yep. Is this more about you guys? Find a way to stop the run against these guys. Get back to running the football. Clean up those special teams.
100%. It's always been about us in the locker room, and I've been preaching fundamentals since camp, and it's been spotty here as of late, and we just got to correct those things, and we'll do that going forward.
All right, it's time now for Ask the Coach Almost Anything, and this is from Saul G. Great question here. You were talking about this before the interview with you.
You said Saul G or Salah?
Saul G.
Salah?
Not Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh might be watching the show. You never know. Talking about the flight back from London. That's a long flight, almost 8 hours.
Yeah.
Do you try to catch a wink or two? Do you try and get some sleep? Because you have a lot of energy. Yeah. You set the tone for the organization. But you also want to get sleep, but you also want to watch a film. What is the balance for you?
I wanted to stay awake just so I could get back, and it was like 11:30 when we finally made it back here and just get back on East Coast time. So I stayed awake. I watched all the game, had all my notes, had everything done. It was nice.
All right, get everything done. If you want to ask the coach a question like Saul G, you got to go to patriots.com, #AskTheCoach. You'll be back later and show a little slice of mayo. So you take a little rest, get a little cat nap here, and then we'll be back.
Perfect. All right.
All right, more of All Access will return right after this.
Tamara Brown here at Boston College High School to honor Coach Z as our Coach of the Week. The Eagles defeated Zavarian 30-13, their first win over them since 2019, and they move on to 5-0 on the season.
Coach Z deserves Coach of the Week because he's led us throughout the season, and he's committed to his players, and he puts us in the best position to win.
Coach Z has led us to our best start because he trusts us to make on-field decisions and doesn't ridicule us if we make a bad choice. He wants to understand where it comes from. And he's really focusing on player leadership, and I think that's really contributing to our success this year.
You guys have quietly gotten yourselves 5-0. Again, congratulations. Coach, congratulations. And I want to say on behalf of the Kraft family and the New England Patriots Charitable Foundation, we present you with this week's Coach of the Week. With this award, $1,000 goes toward the football program, your name, your honor, and just a great job what you've been doing with the young men this year, and we're excited to be here.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Family! Welcome back to All Access, presented by GEICO. Can the Patriots shed their soft label? Dan Roach went looking for answers.
Tough times continue for these Patriots. After a double-digit loss in London, Gerard Mayo's 1-6 team has lost 6 straight.
We are what our record is, and we have to get better.
The 6-game skid is the Pats' longest in 31 years, and after the loss, Mayo called out his team.
That's the head coach of the New England Patriots. Some plays we definitely want to take back from the game. When you're frustrated, you things come out, but I definitely know that he don't, mean that towards the team.
I feel like it was kind of a shot at the whole team, not an individual in perspective, but I feel like we got to play harder.
I don't think anybody should take things personal, especially in this line of work. I feel like since all of us have been in like middle school, we've all had coaches that said a lot worse.
The great Vince Lombardi once said, "It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up." And this Patriots team says they'll choose to get back up.
If we want to win, if we want to be great, we have to take care of our bodies. We have to train. We have to eat right, sleep. We have to do everything it takes to be great.
Nobody's giving up. Nobody's just hanging their hat. Nobody's saying the F for this. Everybody's locked in, ready to go, ready to move on to the Jets.
The banged-up Patriots face a rematch with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets on Sunday, a team that dominated them in a Week 3 loss in New Jersey.
So we still have time to get it fixed. We got, 10 games left. And, no better way to start it against a divisional opponent this week.
Here's your Drake Maye stat of the day. Since 1950, or in the modern era of professional football, Drake Maye and Dan Marino are the only two quarterbacks to throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns in their first 2 career starts. And if Maye throws for at least 240 and 2 touchdowns Sunday here against the Jets, he'd be the first ever quarterback to accomplish that feat in his first 3 career starts. With the Patriots at Gillette Stadium for Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
All right, Dan Roach, thank you very much for joining me now. It's Patriots cornerback Jonathan Jones, and good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
What's the mood of this football team right now?
We're opportunistic. We know we haven't lived up to our potential. We haven't, registered a lot of wins, but we're eager to get out there and just continue to fight, continue to get better.
Do you get the sense the players are angry?
I would say it's frustration of the situation. But I wouldn't say it's anyone to blame but ourselves, as players and coaches. So I think we all understand that we're all accountable for what we put out there on the field. So I think that's the player standpoint.
Nobody is going to feel sorry for yourselves, right? You dug yourselves a hole. Nobody's going to dig themselves out except for you, right?
Yep.
How do you do that?
Just take a long look in the mirror. Each guy individually, each unit, each side of the ball, just take a look in the mirror and just focus on the small things, doing the small things better, and the results will come from that.
You're one of the longest tenured players on the team. 9 years. Yeah. Got 2 Super Bowl rings. You've been to the top, now you're at the bottom. How do you get your message across? You've seen the good and the bad. How do you get your message across to your teammates?
It's tough because it's a new journey for me, but at the same time, just trying to speak to those guys and let them know what it's supposed to look like, what winning looks like, just what the daily routine of consistency, discipline, doing those things over and over, and that results to wins.
Are the younger guys receptive to that message?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different generation.
Yeah,
it
is.
I say that
Yes,
like I'm really
is.
old, but it is. And so part of it is just meeting guys where they're at and just understanding, this younger generation, they have a way that they, are used to doing things, but at the same time, there's a standard and they have to, meet the standard.
Is the team confident that you guys will respond this week?
Yeah, I think every week, we put in good weeks of practice, and at some point, we have to turn the page, and that has to equate to a win on Sundays. And so it's just doing a little bit more, this week and trying to come out with a win.
Jonathan Jones, good luck on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time now for your player spotlight. Now, I think the big story is the quarterback, right? Drake Maye. Saw him last week against the Texans, his first start. How did he clean up some things from that first start, carrying over to the London game here, Brian? I think no turnovers. That's a big step forward. No interceptions, no balls on the ground. But we're going to take a look at a couple of his big throws and maybe some of the misses. So how can he grow? How can he get better week to week? Why don't you start us off here?
Yeah, I think he's doing a great job. We're going to start here with a potential big play that he could have hit here. So we go, they have a little motion at 3-by-1. You got Pop Douglas as the number 3 receiver, and this is actually a blown coverage. We'll see it. We're here. We'll pause it. So the Mike linebacker right here and the nickel both take Pop. So this is going to open up a big void right here for Kendrick Bourne. So we let it run. And this is one where I think he's feeling it. We talk about footwork. His footwork's kind of angled too far to the left. You have an in-cut coming. And if anything, okay, if you want to throw it, with that timing, you got to put a little air on it. He throws kind of a harder ball here to KB, and it's just outstretching. Yes, it touches KB's hands, but when you feel this blown coverage and this void right here, and you know you have it, just loft it in there. And this is a catch and run where KB maybe takes it to the house. And you can see here, Drake is kind of, his feet are moving a lot. They're shuffling, and now he's taking a big stride, and he's, you see his foot is this way, but in reality, this is where you need to throw the ball. So keeping that base, not over-opening your left front foot, that'll allow you to make a better throw here.
Okay, so one thing he does really well is the deep ball, and here's the booty throw.
Yeah, of all the throws that he makes, these are probably the most effortless and look the prettiest. There's no doubt about that. Last week we talked about the touchdown to Booty. The safety was cheated over. Here we can see, and if we pause it, they're actually doing a good job of trying to disguise. Here's a too high look. When the ball snapped, if we let this roll, now they go back, right? So what's he going to do? And if we just go to the end zone right here, we'll watch Drake's eyes. Right there, you see him.
Keep him to the right.
He looks right here just enough to hold that guy. So that gives him the time to know, okay, this safety is going back to the middle of the field. I'm going to hold him there for a second. And you know what? Of all the routes that Booty does a good job of, these go routes, he knows how to stack the DB. We talk about that. It's even, I'm leaving, and right here, it's even. And so Drake feels this area, and what Booty does a good job of, he gets back on top of the DB and stacks them, and it's a beautiful ball by Drake.
Is that a credit to the program? It's coming from LSU. They've had a lot of really good receivers over the last 6 to 8 years come out of there as far as knowing where you're at on the field, don't get pinned on the sideline.
Yeah, and those LSU receivers, this is kind of their bread and butter. All those guys are really good at knowing how to stack those DBs on those go routes, which makes it, as a quarterback, instead of getting squeezed to the sideline, having to make a perfect throw, now that allows you some more room down the field to complete this pass. So a beautiful throw by Drake. I think this is something when you know that your quarterback's really good at doing this, you try to have this option maybe once a quarter or have in a concept, hey, there's a go route on the outside. If he's singled up, go ahead and take that shot. And I think you see him doing it, and clearly he's found something here with Booty.
And also with Booty, I mean, this is two times in 2 weeks that you've hit this. He's got to get on the field more.
Yeah.
Okay. Something Drake does really well, too, throwing off the back foot, and this is the touchdown to KJ Osborne. There's a couple concepts here. Walk us through Hunter Henry and how he affects it, and tell us what the coverage is here.
Yeah, so I think, you watched the game all along, and the Jaguars were playing a lot of different versions of Tampa 2. So you got the two high safeties, you got a Mike middle down the field. And I actually thought, watching back this coach's tape, I thought AVP called a great game, attacking those things. And this is where having a guy like Hunter Henry comes in such a big use, because you'll see it as we run it. Okay, so this Mike linebacker has this third of the defense, right?
Yep.
Well, Hunter leans into him, and he feels the guys on his back, and he kind of holds them there, which allows Drake to throw it over the mic to this wide open area with a KJ Osborne bending it in there in front of the safety. So the savviness of Hunter Henry allows KJ Osborne to have this touchdown.
So Henry probably gets a plus on this play. When you grade it out.
And these other guys need to learn from this. A guy that Hunter Henry, who not only gets open and is savvy in his route running, but then takes one for the team and says, okay, he's matching me. Because if this Mike were to pass him up and take KJ, Hunter's going to get this ball.
Right.
But he realizes this guy's contacting me. Let him take me. The touchdown's right behind me.
Great stuff, Brian Hoare. Appreciate you, buddy.
So.
Great breakdown. There's your player spotlight. More Patriots All Access. We'll be back right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Meet the Mayor of Fun.
We try really hard to create a memorable experience for people.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. Gillette's ultimate shaving experience.
Hi, I'm Joey Sly, Patriots kicker. I like to work out. A lot of bicep curls is pretty much all I do. It's the one thing you're gonna see when I'm kicking.
Haters ain't got no muscle, who's flexing?
Yeah, look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me. Look at me.
Originally from Virginia. My dad was military, so I bounced around. So I've lived in California, Montana. I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but spent most of my life in Virginia. Virginia is what I still call home. Me and my wife live there now, but one of my favorite places to visit would be Montana. I like being out in the wilderness, fishing, golfing, just being out in nature.
Look at me.
Is there somebody that you would like to be?
Denny Rodriguez.
from The Sandlot. I think that'd be really cool. Growing up, that was one of my, that still probably is my favorite movie of all time. I mean, just the character as a whole was kind of like a living legend, and then obviously when I played in the big leagues, so I think that would be a pretty cool character to play. Honestly, with how I've been recently, golfing would be something I would probably try to pursue in some aspect. I can hold my own, I can play. I won't embarrass you if you invite me to your course, but I may have some struggles here and there. Definitely need to bring about 3 or 4 sleeves of balls for sure. I have a very perfectionist mentality, so the fact that I have a little bit of an ability to play, it makes me want to be the best at it. And right now, Scotty Scheffler is making me feel really bad about myself.
Welcome back to All Access, presented by GEICO. In the tailgate business, what happens when you merge the state of Maine with Cape Cod? Let's ask the Mayor of Fun to explain in our latest installment of Tales from the Tailgate, presented by Bud Light.
What I love about tailgating is that it's people creating a party to celebrate out of an empty space, and how cool can they make it? Not the same if you go to a sporting event and you put on your jersey and just walk in, as it is if you're pre-gaming and celebrating with other fans who love it like you do.
Let's go, baby! Let's go, man!
The Master of Ceremony, the Mayor of Fun, the Queen Bee of the Tailgate.
Everything that we need for the beverages, that's all for our tailgate stuff.
These are just a few titles earned by Shannon Kinney, originally from Maine and now in Plum Island, Mass. Another title is the Client Success Officer for her own marketing firm, a role she applies to her tailgate every Sunday.
I do apply marketing genius to our tailgate in that we try really hard to create an experience, like a memorable experience for people.
Potatoes, bacon, sausage, hash browns right now. I'm the breakfast guy.
And I also make sure that people can find us, which is a key thing in marketing, and that is our lobster flag.
We've been doing this for 30 years. It's a bunch of our friends from Maine that are lobstermen, and we have a bunch of friends from Cape Cod who also have a great tailgate. We decided to take the 2 best tailgates and merge them, and now we're all family. How you doing?
Great.
Welcome. This is Clayton. He's a lobsterman from outside Maine, and he is your host today. He is the best tailgate in the entire place.
He's a legend.
Brett's a lobsterman from Port Clyde, Maine. I'm getting ready. You mind if I start?
No.
Let's go. These were in the water 2 days ago off the gorgeous coast of Maine.
Our mission there, other than being huge fans, is really creating community. We have live music in our tailgate every week. It's all about making sure that everyone has an amazing time, but I do as well. I spend a good part of the time running around, but I love it because I see everyone having a great time.
That's a lobster. Excellent. Couldn't be better. Central Maine lobster's the best.
Oh, we just got some fresh Maine potatoes cut up into strings, and we're putting them in the deep oil. Lots of good food and lots of good friends. That's my approach to tailgating.
That's a rack of lamb and 2 cowboy steaks.
It's the joy that we're spreading, I think. There's no experience like it.
Let's go, Maine!
Bud Light came with James Devlin and brought us a whole thing of Bud Lights, which was amazing.
What's up, man? Hey. I got these Bud Lights for you, man. Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing just great.
You're doing this for a long time, huh?
Forever.
Yeah.
Really, seriously.
It's almost like they know how much I love it. And I had plenty of those Bud Lights. They were delicious. It's my fave.
We're in the same place every game, same place lobster flag. You're always welcome.
Bill Holmes is part of our Cape Cod crew, and we met him a few years ago. He's our tailgate Santa.
We hooked up with these people, and all of a sudden, we had one there, one there. Now we got one big one, and they're wonderful people.
That's what it's all about, man. Bringing community together around football. Nothing better than that, man. That's awesome.
So my name is Sean Holmes. This is my dad, Bill. We've been coming down here for, probably good 40 plus years.
You can tell that, like me, that is their happy place.
It's gone through a couple iterations, but as you can see, Tailgate's just grown and grown over the years. We've made so many friends. We got people literally from Cape Cod to Maine. It's been a great time coming down here with my dad.
I'm Bill Barber. This is my son Jake. We've been coming here since 1984. 84. Joe and Pete, their father son.
We figured out the other night this is 41 years.
We do it because we love the Patriots. We do it because we love celebrating. We just love having a really good time with people that are as passionate about it as we are.
This week's Next Gen Stat, brought to you by AWS, features cornerback Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez has faced Jets wideout Garrett Wilson twice over the last 2 seasons, allowing 7 receptions for 43 yards and 1 touchdown on 13 targets. For the 14th straight year, the Patriots Women's Association prepared and served lunch at the Women's Lunch Place. Led by Robert Kraft and other Patriots' wives and significant others, served meals to women experiencing homelessness. In addition, the Patriots Charitable Foundation made a $25,000 donation to support their annual spaghetti dinner.
All right, welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time now for A Side of Mayo, brought to you by our friends at Hellman's. 2-point conversion time. Let's talk about it. 8:27 left on the clock. Yep. You guys cut the score to 9. You go for 2. Guy slips down. You had it. The play was there.
That's right.
Talk about the mindset there, because if you kick it, you get you're a 1-score game. You're down by 8. But you
still have to go for 2 there.
What's that?
You still have to go for 2 there. And so at some point in time, you have to go for 2. And I would also say, if you look around the league, this isn't uncommon to go for 2 on the first drive. A guy like Mike Tomlin did the exact same thing, who I would say is a good coach. Shanahan, same thing, who I would say is a good head coach. And so from our perspective, it's like, at that moment, we said, hey, let's go for 2, and then at least we know what situation we have going forward. Now, I understand the other side of the philosophy where you say, go for, just kick the extra point and be down 8. At the same time, you still have to go for 2 later on. And so some people would say it puts more pressure on the opposing team if they know it's a 1-score game right then and there, which I understand that.
How quick did you make that decision? How much help do you get? Like, do you practice this stuff Friday? Like, hey guys, if this situation pops up, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, so I talk to Evan all the time, but ultimately it's my decision. Yep. And so, if we hit that 2-point conversion, which absolutely was wide open, all right, we're not even talking about this and saying that we failed, and it's my fault.
All right, good answer. Good luck against the Jets, man.
Thank you.
Let's get in that winning column. All right, there you go. There's your head coach. More Patriots All Access. We'll return right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit sitickets.com today. And by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Go back nearly a decade December 21st, 2014, for this week's moment against the New York Jets, when the Patriots were in a dogfight, trailing into the fourth quarter. But Geno Smith, yes, the Jets' Geno Smith, was picked off by Jamie Collins. That turnover led to the game-winning touchdown.
He ducks to the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots!
The Patriots escaped with a 1-point win, on their way to Super Bowl 49.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Back in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. This is Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. 1-6. We knew it was going to be bumpy. Did we expect it to be this bumpy?
Yeah, I did not. And not necessarily about the record. I think that we all sort of recognize the shortcomings, on the field, Mike, but I didn't think we'd have as much off the field as we've had. Obviously, we talked about, the comments after the game, but just it feels like there's a lot of players that aren't necessarily on the same page, talking about other guys needing to do this or that or not, necessarily playing to the game plan and the system. So I wasn't expecting all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I feel like there's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds, from the team. So no, I did not expect that. However, coaching staff inexperienced, right? Gerard in his first year. Right. He's got first-year offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt, first-year defensive coordinator DeMarcus Covington, first-year special teams coach Jeremy Springer, first-year executive vice president of player personnel Elliot Wolf. Everyone's new. So I did expect some growing pains, but I didn't expect growing pains, if you get my point. Yeah. The emphasis on the pains. And so, and also too, I would say, guys, maybe the first week of the season maybe elevated my expectation because I wasn't expecting them to go to Cincinnati and win. And the fact that it feels like it's regressed almost each week since that point has also left me with a feeling of this is pretty painful right now for the team.
Can this thing be fixed?
I'll start with this one, Paul. I think, to me, let's offensively, running backs the last 2 weeks have 33 carries for 64 yards. They're averaging just under 2 yards a carry. Steve, if they can't run the ball, it can't be fixed. And I think that starts with the offensive line. I don't see, a stud left tackle coming through. And so I think the personnel is what it is. Maybe incremental improvements, but I don't see a dramatic U-turn here, Paul. But if they can't run it, this is going to be a tractor pull the rest of the way.
Mike is right, because they were able to run the ball really, really well at times in the first month of the season, and they haven't done it lately. So I think if they can get back to that, they might be able to stay on the field for a longer period of time. That, you can talk about how the offense went south against Jacksonville for the last three quarters. Yeah, they were going 3 and out, but the other team was then possessing the ball for 7, 8, 11 minutes. It's hard to get back out there to see if you can get on track.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because you got to run the ball and you got to stop the run, which gets back to what we talked about earlier in the show. With soft team is one that does that. And again, the defense is the defense. Like, these are the players you have. Can they play better? I think they can play better. But Steve, playing a little better, there's more ground to cover than I think is possible here.
Can we talk about the bright light? The bright light, the quarterback, Drake Maye. He's played better than I expected.
Yeah.
The way he started.
Yeah, and you guys, I guess no one watched any North Carolina tape, evidently, because
you would have played him earlier.
I would have played him in week one. I said it at the time. I just feel like, and I'm not telling you that he's arrived. He's not the savior.
Let me tell you something. He's kept his poise.
I think that he has a level of ability, Steve, that they have not had at the position since Tom left, and I think that is undeniable. I think his athleticism allows him to sort of skirt around some of the issues up front with the pass protection and escape the pocket, make plays with his legs. And I think what's really impressed me in the second start, Mike, was some of the anticipation throws that we saw. That the touchdown to KJ Osborne, well before he's open, that ball is out of Drake Maye's hands on time. I thought he looked much more comfortable in the pocket. And obviously the beginning of the game was lights out. So, yeah, I've been very impressed.
I'll give you another one, a throw to Hunter Henry before Hunter's out of his break. And it just made me say, wow, he's seeing it well. And I would say big picture, looking for a silver lining. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance.
They got the Jets coming in here. Jets are desperate. Talking about two desperate football teams. But the
2-5.
Jets are desperate, right? This could be a turnaround game for them. Will this game be competitive?
I mean, I think something's going to have to change dramatically from the last time they played because it wasn't competitive on that Thursday night. That's kind of when all this lack of competitive started, Mike. I think the Jets are going to pose a lot of challenges defensively if they can get some of the pieces back. They were missing a lot of that defense in that Pittsburgh game last Sunday night. So if they can get back, to a semblance of health, especially in the secondary, this will be a good test for Drake Maye. It's going to be tough to stick with this team because I think they will be desperate.
I'm going to give you an answer that they say you should never give. I have no idea. I don't know.
How do you know how the Jets are going to come here? How do you know what the Jets are going to be like? Because the Jets, to your point, Steve, desperate, they had playoff aspirations. They're 2-5.
Right.
It's a little different than the Patriots are dealing with.
And honestly, this last game for the Patriots, that first quarter, I thought the Patriots played maybe their best quarter of the season.
No doubt.
And that thing took the sharpest turn that I wasn't expecting, based on the first quarter. So, Steve,
okay,
that's what I got for you.
Well, this is what
I feel bad saying it. I wish I had more.
You got to give me more than this when it comes to prediction time.
Yeah.
So let's go there.
Really?
Yeah.
We do?
Yes,
so I'm
do.
with Mike. I think the Patriots have to find a way to run the football better.
Okay.
And see if they can stay on the field a little bit more often. I have a lot of respect for the Jets personnel, especially on defense.
Yeah.
I think they do find a way to get right. 27-16 Jets.
31-17 Jets. Curious to see the fan reaction to the Patriots coming back, and got to show some fight and some improvement here because what we saw the last 3 quarters last week is certainly not the standard.
Well, I'm going with the Pats this week.
All right.
I think they do respond to the soft comments.
Steve. Interesting.
We'll see if they step up and play.
No, I didn't see that coming, Mike.
There you go. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
That will do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. For Mike Weiss and Paul Perillo, I'm Steve Burton. Have a great week, everybody.